QB problem and how it can be fixed. And that's perfect because that really does lead us into what I really want to talk about. People have to understand that we're in a new NFL now. We're in the NFL where the defensive players are running 4.4s and they're 270-pound pass edge rushers. They used to just be a good athlete with some long arms that was able to, get the leverage to sack a guy and be real tough, be able to do some good spin moves, be able to really, devastate offensive linemen. But offensive linemen were really much better players back then. They were much smarter players back then. And you know what? There's a lot, but that's the trenches for you. And then you have these cornerbacks that all played receiver in high school, and they all can catch. They can all cover. They all know how to play the position at the highest level. We probably have our best group of defensive backs I've ever seen in the NFL this year. And we have the linebackers who are a dying breed on the defensive end. Now they're down to two because pretty much now they use the edge rusher. He's not called an outside linebacker anymore. It's called an edge rusher. And then the two guys that are usually used to be in the middle, the inside backer and the middle backer, or the two inside backers and the slash back, the guy that goes on the edge, the guy that plays the middle, he rovers a little bit. Now that can be moonlighted as a safety. Player that plays safety or a player that plays that's a big corner, and we call that the star position now. A lot of people don't even know that there's a whole new position in the NFL when it comes to the defensive side, and it's called the star position. That's a guy who can rush the passer, cover the receiver, and go ahead and be effective in the run game as well too. So that they have the hat trick somewhat of skills, and that's what makes them the star position, the star back, and that's pretty much your linebacker now. And your linebacker can moonlight as a safety, can moonlight as a cornerback. Damn, he can even moonlight as a defensive lineman sometimes. So that's how it's structured in the NFL now, and that's what happens. The defense is now smarter than the offense. Let's just keep it real. And there's a lot of people that feel that, oh man, this guy can't play quarterback. He can't do that, second and third. He would have never made it past training camp if he couldn't throw the ball. Let's just end that conversation right now. What it is IQ. What it is guys fearing to getting hurt. That's what the biggest issue is with a lot of backup quarterbacks. They don't want to get hurt because if they get hurt, they're out. It's that simple. They're so replaceable, it's not even funny. And that's what's wrong. The backup quarterback has no security. So since the backup quarterback has no security, then you're not developing anything here. And so pretty much what happens is that now you have put all your chips on the starter. And when the starter goes down, the starter literally it's hope and see situation, hoping that your backup has been able to really master the playbook. Back in the day, let me give you a great example. The San Francisco 49ers. They traded for Steve Young. Steve Young was a starter in the league. Starter. And they traded for him because they had Joe Montana, the best quarterback in the league, but they saw a guy who was struggling to be the quarterback he truly is because he was playing with a mediocre franchise. So what they did was, knowing that they had a quarterback that was a bit fragile, they went ahead and they rolled the dice and they went ahead and traded for Steve Young to have an insurance policy at the quarterback position. And sometimes you have to sacrifice going ahead and getting a good starter who's on a bad team to come be your backup quarterback. And we lost, and somewhere down the road, we got lost in the NFL. Everybody got to be the starter. Everybody got to be the man. But nobody can develop. And I'm going to give you another great example of when you let the quarterback develop. You draft Jordan Love. You tell Jordan Love, you're learning from the best. You're going to learn from Aaron Rodgers. We're not getting rid of Aaron Rodgers so you can, figure it out. No, we know what's up. Aaron Rodgers got a few years left in him. And when we feel like he doesn't have anything left in him, be ready. And that's exactly what he did. Aaron Rodgers did that prior to him. Now you can see the transition of quarterback. 4 quarterbacks in 3 decades, 4 decades for the Packers. Okay, because they had the patience to develop the quarterback. You cannot develop quarterbacks they're if they're on this revolving door. You know, you draft a guy, you only give him a year to get everything together and be right, or giving him 2 years to get everything and be right. You know, you could bring in coaches with no experience to take on rookie coaches, the rookie quarterbacks. It's just you're not matching these things up well. And it's the problem why you're getting bad quarterback play from a lot of these backups, because at the end of the day, you're doing too many games on Thursday. Thursday game should be a absolute Thanksgiving thing only, because you're risking your season. Where did Joe Burrow get hurt at? Thursday night football. Okay, there it is. That shows you what the problem truly is. Sorry, Amazon. You might need to buy a Sunday game, because you're risking the league when you keep doing these damn Thursday games. You're risking your stars. You just are. Because now they want to have the best game on Thursday night. You got to have the best game on Sunday night. You got to have the best game on Monday night. At some point, tell yourself, we need to let these guys rest for 5 days, 6 days. They don't need to be right back on the field 72 hours after a game they just played they're pretty much their lives out in. You know what I mean? You got guys that are key players that miss Thursdays consistently because they got some nagging injury that they can make it on Sunday, but they ain't going to be able to make it on Thursday. So the NFL, you got a scheduling problem. You got an inventory problem. What's wrong with the NFL is that you have to have some patience. And you know what? Stop listening to your fans. I know that they swear that they're paying all your bills and all that other stuff, but they're going to show up regardless, because the NFL is the country's addiction. Okay? So at the end of the day, y'all do what you have to do, what's best for your franchise, for your team, not for some instant gratification. Because at the end of the day, the best dynasties were built. The dynasties that came and went, that crashed and burned, was because everything was instant gratification. And then by the time we started losing, we didn't know how to start winning again. So with that, we move forward. Let's go ahead and talk some boxing, because boxing is the sport that is actually dying. There's really nothing great going on with boxing right now. They really need to make sure that heavyweight situation goes well, or